What's up, everybody? Welcome to Montreal Diecast Cafe, and tonight we are going to have a little bit of a special episode. Well, in my opinion anyways. Hopefully it's helpful for a bunch of you guys out there, especially to the new collectors. It'll probably be a little bit helpful because today I am going to talk about chase cars. Okay, it's kind of something that I wish I knew about when I first started collecting, because there's just tons and tons of differences in what we call chases. I'm going to go through, it's going to be a long video, guys, because I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to go through Hot Wheels. I'm going to show some Matchbox chase. I'm going to show some Kaido House, Johnny Lightning, M2, Greenlight, just a little bit of everything, just to give you guys an example of what's out there and what chases are and what to look for, okay? Going to be kind of fun because a little bit of a history lesson in Hot Wheels too for any of you guys that don't really know much about the history of it. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys. Hopefully it's interesting because we're going to go through the world of chases. Okay, so let's turn this camera around. We'll stop my talking because, as I said, it's going to be a long video, and let's check out some chases, everybody. Hopefully it's interesting. So everybody, we are going to start off all the way from the beginning. Well, as far as I can remember anyways. We are going to start off in the year 1967, 68, okay, because that was the birth of Hot Wheels. Now, there were brands far beyond that, like Corgi, Lesnar, I believe even Matchbox was before the Hot Wheels. So there were cars before which maybe had their chases at that time too, but it's a little bit way before my time, so I just don't remember that far back. So where we are going to start off with is in Hot Wheels, and we're going to start off right here. Now, obviously, I do not have all the old red lines or their variations, and that is exactly what a chase car was back in these days, was a variation, okay? Now, there were many variations, whether it was a wheel variation, a slight color difference. In this case, this car is not worth that much because this is the Python. This is the Python body with a Python base. Okay? And that is exactly the way it was back in 68. But the original release of this car had a cheetah base. Now, the Python body. Now, if you got that one, it is a variation, and it is a very highly sought-after variation with a lot of money. Okay, now this would be considered, well, a type of chase. It wasn't really considered a chase at that time, but that's what people chased after. And they still chase after that car now. So it would still be considered a chase. Another car from the early 60s would be the Red Baron. Now, the Red Baron has many versions with the black interior. But if you have the variation with the white interior, it is more expensive. So therefore, it is a chase version because it is very hard to find, and there are very limited editions. There are very limited pieces. Also, there is a Hong Kong base version of this, which is worth more money as well. This one here is a China base. So it is your basic version that most people have. And it's the same with that very eluded pink beach bomb. Now that pink beach bomb had a design flaw. It would tip over on the track because it wasn't balanced very well. So they had to redo the model, and they put the surfboards on the side, making the rear loading beach bomb a very highly sought after variation and hard to find. Therefore, it is a chase. Moving on from that into the Blackwall era. We move into the 70s, 80s, and it still continued the same thing. So back in those days, you had variations, which were the chase cars. like this one here. It is 136 number, but as you can see, it is sitting on 5 spokes. Okay, and this is one variation of the car. Then you have 136 variation wheels sitting on Blackwalls. Okay, same truck, same card almost, but different wheel variation. And these were what you call the chases of the time. And a third variation, number 136, sitting on ultra hot wheels. Okay, so these are 3 different variations, and you could say it's like looking for chases. And these are what you call the chases straight up until, like the Ferrari here, pink Ferrari, ultra hot wheels, exact same deco as this guy right here. But you can see it is on different wheels. Therefore, different wheel variation. Okay? Same car. So this, to me, would make sense to say that it was kind of the birth of the chase. Okay? Then, at that time as well, what a lot of collectors were hunting, and what was very rare, and which would probably be called chases, were errors. Okay? Error cars were kind of like getting a chase. I mean, as you can see, this one here, supposed to be the Hot Bird, and instead it's the Twin Mill. Now this one, it's not like today where they're switching the packs. Back then, they weren't doing it. Or at least we didn't know that. You can see the pack is crisp, never been touched, and it is the wrong car in the package. This is an error car, okay? And it was kind of like finding a chase car when you found an error. They were very, very highly sought after by collectors back in those days because they were different. They were odd. The same with this guy here. This is a bit of an error because, as you can see on the side, the paint is not as crisp. We're missing all kinds of paint. It's like loss of paint there, which makes the car a defect, which made it an error. And people went crazy for that. They were looking everywhere for that. So there. That is, let's say, from the late 60s to the start of the Hot Wheels till, let's say, right up until, I would say, 95, where we had the birth of the treasure hunt. 1995 was the birth of the treasure hunt, okay? And the birth of the treasure hunt, I'll just show you here, was this symbol here on the card. Now, treasure hunts back in 95 were limited to 10,000 worldwide. And you knew you had a treasure hunt when you found the treasure hunt case on the side. Okay? This was the symbol back in the days. Now this one is the 2002, so it's not that old, but the symbol didn't change all that much from those years, because I have here, let me see, what year is this one released? This one is a 2003. 2003 also kept the same package. Let me just show you guys here. And there's the 2003, as you can see, the treasure chest. And they kept this symbol from 95 all the way to 2006. Okay, that little treasure chest symbol to tell you found a Hot Wheels treasure hunt. Okay, now where we're going to see this is that in 1995, the birth of the Hot Wheels treasure hunt, guys. And let me just pick this here. And let me show you number 1 of 1995. The first treasure hunt to be released. The Oldsmobile 442. This little guy here introduced chase cars to Hot Wheels. That's simple. The treasure hunt was born in 95 with this number 1 car. Now, this started a bit of a frenzy. Everybody was like, wow, treasure hunts. This is cool. We've got a car. It's got special wheels. Has real rider wheels. Very cool. But I think it was more number 3 of 95 that rocked the world for treasure hunts. This guy right here, which a lot of collectors call the Holy Grail of Hot Wheels. This was probably, well, maybe not was, maybe still is the most sought after treasure hunt of all time. And it was the number 3 in 1995. And these guys just blew up the chase market. I mean, it just went out of control. This was 95. And it stayed the same. The cars like this with real riders, some of them didn't have real riders, the treasure hunt. Some of them did come on plastic wheels and were still treasure hunts. But they had that symbol all the way. Where did I put that car? Sorry about this, everybody. I just misplaced something. I don't know where I put the cars. Okay. Anyway, they're right here. Okay. Let me just get it out. I got things everywhere because it's just tons of cars. But anyways, as I said, this treasure hunt symbol lasted all the way to 2007. In 2007, we had a complete change, which was really, because I would say 2007 really blew up the market in Hot Wheels. I mean, people just started getting into the hobby like crazy. And this is a 2008 card, but 2007, 2008, they have the exact same cards. Okay? And they came like this. So you would see the whole side green, and you knew you found a treasure hunt. Obviously, because it says treasure hunt here. But that was really, really made the car stand out. To see them on the pegs, you knew you found the treasure hunt when you saw the green. It was just easier to find, and it was just insane. But anyways, in 2007 was also, because here, I'm just going to show you a treasure hunt. This is probably from 2010, I believe, this one here. As you can see, it has the treasure hunt symbol right there. And this is the regular treasure hunt, because it has the plastic wheels. But something happened in 2007. In 2007, Hot Wheels dropped the bomb on us. And not only do we have treasure hunts, they had to release the Super Treasure Hunt. And the Super Treasure Hunt just blew up. It came in this beautiful Spectra Flame paint. Came with these beautiful real riders and completely different mags than the regular. Now, the collectors are in a frenzy. I mean, this is insane. Hot Wheels just threw a whole new mix in the bag. Now we've got treasure hunts and super treasure hunts to look for. And super treasure hunts have just blown up the market value for reselling. The resale value of the super treasure hunt just went insane and dropped the price of the regular treasure hunt all the way down. But from 95 to 2007, all we had were regular treasure hunts. So the value of them were very high. But when this Super Treasure Hunt came out, it completely dropped the price of the regular Treasure Hunt because everybody went crazy for this new Super. I mean, you got real riders, Spectra Flame paint compared to plastic wheels and a regular paint. But Hot Wheels wasn't stupid because it didn't actually drop people picking up the regular Treasure Hunts. Because, I mean, not only did you want the Super, you had to have the regular to go with it. I mean, only made sense. And now, still today, we have, well, let me just say, from 2007 to 2012, 2012 was a big turnaround. Because 2012, we had the Treasure Hunt set, but then Hot Wheels threw out this super secret Super Treasure Hunt. So here, we had a regular car, came on a regular card, like this guy here. Same thing, okay? Card was regular, but the difference is that you had the regular card, but you had a Super Treasure Hunt. Okay? Now this was a whole new bag, because for collectors, it got hard to find this little guy here. It got real hard because the card was exactly the same. There was nothing written on the card to tell us any different, that you found a Super or a regular. Except for the fact that there's a circle and flame posted in the back of the card. Now, circle and a flame. Okay, let's go back to 2012 where I said this started. 2012, we had a regular Treasure Hunt set. Then we had the circle and flame set. And then we had the Super Treasure Hunt. So 2012 was a big transition in the Treasure Hunt's setup. And very, very crazy. Let me go back here. I will show you guys just a couple of the cards from the earlier times. Okay, I've got a 2009 card. Okay, first off, like I said, this is a 2008 Treasure Hunt card. I will move these over for a second to show you guys. 2008 Treasure Hunt card. Okay. We've got a 2009 Treasure Hunt card. As you can see, got a little smaller on the side. T-Hunt written 09. Okay. TH still on the car. Regular Treasure Hunt. And we've got here, let me just put this aside, pull this one out here, where this was the transition, okay? And this one is, as I said, a 2012 Treasure Hunt. Now, as I said, 2012 was a big year for Treasure Hunts because there was this set here, which they did not put any Supers out. Okay? Only these Treasure Hunts came out, 2012. Then you had the Circle and Flame Treasure Hunt in 2012, brand new release. And you had the Super Secret Treasure Hunt also. So these three were born in 2012. Not these three cars. Obviously, this is we all know this is 2024, but I'm talking about the Super Treasure Hunt, the Secret to Super. Circle of Flame. Obviously, this one is new as well. I'm just telling you, the Circle of Flame was born 2012 as well, along with this. So there was a lot to look for in 2012. Now, let me put these away so I'm not get all confused, guys. That is the Treasure Hunts, guys. Okay, let me put all this aside. As I said, I don't want to get too confused. Okay. Then, not only were treasure hunts hard to find, okay, there was the birth of the ID car. Now, these ID cars, they were considered chases as well, because they were hard to find. There was a very limited amount in the cases of Hot Wheels, okay? So they were very hard to find, and they were considered chases. So as the years are going on, more and more chases are coming out, okay? There was that. Then, let's move this back over, and we'll show you the birth in 2023. We've got the birth of the car culture. Not birth of car culture, but we have the birth of the Zero car from car culture. And that is what you call the chase. Now, all these black cars that are coming out from car culture are Zero cars, and they are considered chase cars. Very cool. Very cool. And very, very sought after. Everybody is hunting them down. Because chase cars just seem to rise up in value. And they just kind of taken away from everything else, it seems. I mean, the big hunt out there is all about chases, everybody. Very cool. Now we got that to deal with. But not only do we have those to deal with, we've got another new guy for the Hot Wheels lineup that's making it hard to find. And we got this thing called NFTs. Now, NFTs are extremely rare Hot Wheels. They're either up there with convention pieces or even maybe higher. They are very, very limited. So that, my friends, is the world of chases of Hot Wheels. Now, I've got to cut it there, and we've got to move on to some other brands and other things, because we are 18 minutes or 22 minutes in the video, and all I've talked about was Hot Wheels. We've got to move on, guys. Let's talk about Matchbox. Matchbox now has super chases. Started off like this. This was actually the first super chase release from Matchbox. They made it kind of like a super treasure hunt, because it was like a regular version, a modified version of the regular. Came with rubber wheels, special mags, but not so much difference on the paint. But then Matchbox decided to change it up a bit on us. And they're coming out with this. And as you can see, we've got the Super Chase symbol right there. That's to tell you got a Super Chase. Still sitting on Real Riders. But now they're using this black. And it looks like it's going to kind of stay with this. I'm not 100% sure, because they have changed it a couple of times in between as well. But it looks to be like this black is going to stick. So these are Matchbox chases, guys. Okay? Look for that symbol. Now, that's that for Mattel, everybody. Let us move on. Now we have, well, let me see. We're going to go in order. We'll go here in order. I have Auto World. Auto World, they use red. And they call these Ultra Reds. These are the Auto World chase cars. A special red paint. Sometimes they use red wheels. Sometimes they use white wheels. And sometimes they change the interior to white. But it always has this red. There are even more limited versions of Auto World chases that they call Ultra Raws. Now, I do not have one of those in my collection. But they are even more rare than the Ultra Red. And the Ultra Red is a very rare car. And here's another Ultra Red that has the white wheels and the white interior, but still has that red Ultra World paint. And usually the bases, well, not on this one, but usually the bases are red as well. Now that is Auto World, everybody. Then you have M2. Now M2, normally their chases, they like to put gold. This is normally an M2 trademark with the chases. You find a chase, normally it's gold. Okay, here's the regular version just to show you guys the difference. You can see the gold bumpers, the gold engine. This shows you found the chase. But they're not always 100% with that either. They could throw in a wrench. And this is where you got to be careful in the world of chases, everybody. Because they could throw you in a wrench and you get something like this. Here's the Camaro IROC. And here you have the chases. So as you can see, they didn't add gold to this one, but one's a chase. But you can see the differences. So you know there's a chase out there. And that is M2. Next, you have Greenlight. Now Greenlight, normally, you can tell they're chase because they come with this green paint. Most of the time, the Greenlight has a green paint as to where the regular version is regular paint. But not only that, Greenlight will also put green wheels. But as you can see, there's always that green, okay? Green base. This one does not have the green base. It has the green body. This one a green base, green wheels. But as you can see, they're green. This is Greenlight chase. But you also have the raw Greenlight. And it still has the green wheels. Okay? And the green base. So you can tell that it's the chase. Anytime you find these green on a Greenlight, you know you found a chase. All right, let's move on. Mini GT, everybody. Mini GT loves to play with their chases. Here's your regular R34 Skyline. Beautiful car. That is your regular. And here's the Mini GT chase. It is a raw. Inversed interior. You have blue interior. But it's a raw. That is different. But Mini GT doesn't stay like that. And this is where they can get kind of funny sometimes. Because as you see, let's just pick one out here. I'll move this guy here. You have to be careful with Mini GT, guys. You have a regular. And then you have the chase version. Right here. So what they did is they changed the interior and the wheels on the chase. So these brands, these other brands, guys, it's a little bit trickier to find the chases sometimes. Okay? A little bit trickier. Because they could change it up on you. And they do like to do that. Sometimes Mini GT will only change the wheels. And a very slight change. Then you have Kaido House. Kaido House is kind of the same. You've got your regular version of Kaido House. And then you have your chase version of Kaido House, which is a raw as well. It is a raw paint. Still holds the decals, but it's a raw paint. Now this one being the chase, a lot harder to find. But Kaido House has a secret. Because you think that the chase is hard to find. Well, they've got a black edition, which is even harder to find. And actually, I don't even own one in my collection. So Mini GT has two levels of chases. And the black editions are the hardest ones to find. Johnny Lightning, guys. Regular Johnny Lightning car. Now, the trademark to the Johnny Lightning chase is very simple. They call them White Lightnings. Now, a White Lightning is the chase for Johnny Lightning. Majority of the time do come with white wheels, white car, white base. Majority of the time. Okay? That's how you tell you have the chase from Johnny Lightning. Pretty easy to spot. Racing Champions. Racing Champions is another one very easy to spot. There's your regular version of a Racing Champions car. Very simple. And there's the chase. Because Racing Champions, along with them too, they like to use gold. So a bronze gold version of the car you're buying, you know you're getting a chase from Racing Champions. Pretty easy to spot as well. Couple more brands, everybody, and you'll be caught up on chases. Majorette. Majorette. Never thought they had chases. Really couldn't believe when I found that out. But Majorette. Sorry about that, everybody. There's your regular version Majorette car. When you know you have a chase of Majorette, you are sitting on this completely chromed out gold chrome version. That tells you got your chase. Pretty easy to differentiate as well. Now, Tarmac Works. Tarmac Works is a little bit easier because they don't seem to change it up all that much. They stick pretty much to the guns. There's your regular version of Tarmac Works Falcon. Looking pretty good, by the way, but anyway. And here is your chase version. And what they did is they used the raw as well. So they're kind of like the Mini GT. And pretty much, yeah, Mini GT and Tarmac Works, they like to use the raw versions. So they're pretty easy to spot. Did change the wheels on it too. As you can see, we got the chrome ones here and the green ones on the chase. But pretty identified. Very easy to be identified. We've got NO64, guys. This is the last of the chases I'm going to show you tonight, guys. And it is NO64. Now, NO64, they want to change the car completely when they give a chase. And I'm sure that NO64 chases are extremely, extremely hard to find and rare. Just for the fact that they do completely change the car. As you can see, this is the regular version here. And this is the chase version here. And pretty much everything is different. The color is different. The tampos are inversed. The wheel colors are different. I mean, this is a big difference in chase. You can tell you've got a different chase altogether here. And very rare. And not only that, I'll show you another NO64 just to make my point a little bit more. We do have this guy here. As you can see, this guy here, carbon fiber edition, NO64. Beautiful car. And the chase, which is impossible to mistaken, comes in a carbon green. So once again, NO64 completely changes the car. As you can see, wheels, color, everything. And that's how you know you got the chase. So there you have it, everybody. A little bit of history lesson with chase cars. Guys, if you like this video, please smash that subscribe button. Smash me up a thumbs up on it, guys. And let me know in the comments if this helped you out at all. If it's insightful or helpful whatsoever. But till next time, everybody. Be safe. Be well. Happy hunting.